Hey, a little birdie told me that you are going through a spiritual awakening. If you are, these are the 7 things that I wish I knew at the start of mine. If you want to know what they are, carry on watching this video. Hi, how are you all doing today? Let's get right into that list. Number 1, you do not need objects to be spiritual. You don't need objects to have an awakening or go through awakening. Such as crystals, special clothes, fancy dream catchers, etc. Okay, now it's all nice to have them things. When I went through my spiritual awakening at the beginning, I brought all those things. I spent hundreds of pounds on crystals and different things to make me feel that, but the key is what goes to my second point. Number 2, it's all about being internal, not external. When you're having a spiritual awakening, you research, you look up things, and you see these people who have these crystals, these oracle cards, tarot cards. You have them wearing specific clothes, a specific aesthetic. Now, if you look at me, you probably wouldn't think I'm a spiritual person. I've got leggings and a t-shirt. But I just want to let you know that it's all about internal. Who you are on a different frequency. Who you are, spirit and soul. Now, don't get me wrong. If you would like to buy them things, go ahead. I'm just here to say to you, you don't need it. It's not important. It's not a must-have. A spiritual journey is all about your journey and how you want to evolve in spirit and in soul and as a person. You know, a crystal is not going to make you a better person. It's who you are fundamentally within you. You can buy loads of clothes, loads of crystal jewelry, loads of charm jewelry, but if you're a bad person or a mean person, that's not going to change who you are. You know, crystals themselves do hold an energetic frequency. You know, if you're struggling to sleep, for example, through my research, amethyst would be the best option for you because it holds that frequency of calm, new tranquility, where something like moldavite, I wouldn't get that for sleep, that's for sure. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm saying you don't need crystals and etc. I've got a crystal around my neck, which is black tourmaline. I think that's how you pronounce it. But that resonates with me. And this leads me to, it's still the same point, but a branch off. It's all about what resonates with you internally. And when I say resonate, it actually hits you right there. And you feel a sense of connection with that object. Point 3. Now, I know I've been saying to you that you don't need objects, you don't need this and that, but one thing I would advise anybody to do who is going through an awakening or having strange dreams or, going through different experiences that can't quite understand is getting a notebook. Now, this can be for your dream work, for experiences that you're going through. I did them too. Now, don't get me wrong, there's fancy pants journals out there. There's these very aesthetic books that you could buy. Now, if you have the money, go ahead. If you want to. I'm not going to say don't, but I just bought just a cheap little, I think, A5 notebook from my local shop. And I've still got it to this day. And I bought 2. One was for my dreams and one was for my experiences. And a pen. But, you don't have to buy all these extravagant things. It's all about within. And I would write my dreams, I would write my experiences, and it's good because you can look back on them, the dreams and the experiences, and see how far you've came. Now, my spiritual awakening started 4.5 years ago, and even to this day, I look back at the very beginning and see what I've written. Because it's totally different now, and my knowledge and my understanding is totally different now than it was with that person 4.5 years ago. Now, number 4, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, not always, but majority of the time, you start to be able to sense things, extrasensory perception. Now, extrasensory perception is basically like your senses that you have now, like hearing, eyesight, smell, taste, touch, but they become extra. And with that, it becomes your psychic abilities start to open. And I wish somebody told me what was happening at the time, because I would smell certain smells with no rational reason why I would be smelling that smell. For example, I would be smelling a certain perfume that I recognised, but I didn't know where I recognised it from. I would start having completely random tastes in my mouth, and I haven't even eaten anything, you know. I would hear things. I would start seeing black shadows at the corner of my eye. I would see black shadows literally going straight across. I would start seeing things which I didn't know at the time in my mind's eye. And I just thought I was just visioning these things through my imagination. And I didn't know why I was envisioning it. I would see people standing in doorways. I would see people in my mind's eye walking down my hallway, and it was kind of scary, but I didn't have anybody to mentor me. I didn't have anybody to go to, because majority of the people I know don't believe or don't want to know anything to do with the spiritual world and your abilities. Which leads me to the point number 5. Please try not to be scared. Now, believe me, that is a very easy thing for me to say right at this moment in time. Now, when I started my awakening, I was literally terrified. And seeing all these different things, seeing flashes of light, orbs, I would have sort of like a premonition, and I didn't know what it was, have this video playing in my mind, and then the video would show up in my reality. And I want to stress not to be afraid and not to be scared, because when you are scared and afraid, your mind does play tricks on you, because that's the job of the brain. It's there to protect you, it's there to put you into fight or flight, to run, or, you know, to get you out of danger. I'm saying not to be scared because of the frequency that you are expressing, which is fear. The subject that you are able to tune into, or to unknowingly tune into, will go through that frequency, even though they're not that frequency, but they will go through that frequency. And I've had first hand at this. And believe me, it was a very hard thing to rewire my brain, because of things in society where on movies and different things, you see a horror film and it's all this ghostly, horrible apparition. And reality, this could be your grandmother, your father, your granddad, you know, and they just want to say hello, you know. And this is the point I want to get across. Please don't be scared. This leads me to my 6th point, discernment. Now, discernment across the board. Now, you might see something fall off a shelf. Use your discernment. Don't automatically jump to, oh, this is a spiritual thing. It might not be. It might have just fell off the shelf. You know, somebody could have walked up the stairs and the item fell off the shelf because of the vibration of the stairs. You know, you could hear a voice and then you discover it's actually somebody outside, or, you know, your phone's playing, for example. So use your discernment that way, where everything's always not a spiritual experience. Also discernment with the spiritual experiences, you know, you'll be able to feel with it straight off the bat. If you go into a state of not fearing it, not being scared, like neutrality, you will feel what type of energy that is. Okay, now when I say type of energy, like I have felt myself heavy energy, and I researched, I looked through it my own way, listened to people on different social medias about this type of energy, and I did my own exploration. And discernment is very crucial, and anybody who says you don't need it, I personally wouldn't trust that person, because discernment through across the board, it can prevent psychosis, it can put, like, everything also is not a sign as well. Like when I was at the beginning of mine, I would always look through these signs and I would see a feather on the ground outside. I'd be like, oh, that's a sign, but it isn't. It's literally a bird feather that came off the bird. So, you know, you can go crazy with this stuff. Sorry for saying crazy, but that's how I felt like. I thought like I was losing my mind at one point, and this is why I want to put this video out there to tell you, you know, think logically first about different things, and you can always ask your guides, etc., to show you it again, you know. So for me, I asked for a sign of a white feather from my guides, and you know, I saw a few, but there was a chance that it could have been from something else, not them. So I said to them again, I said, I want undeniable evidence that this is from you. Anyway, so I was sat literally where I am now, and it was last summer, and I was talking to a friend of mine over the phone, and all of a sudden my window was only a little bit ajar, and all of a sudden this white feather came in and just landed straight in the middle of the floor, and it hit right here, and I knew that that was a sign from my guides to let me know that they're there. So this brings me on to my next point, number 7. Be curious. Go out there and explore different things that you hear, that you see, that people tell you. And when I like to call it the stage of exploration. When I went into the stage of exploration, it made me feel very curious, like a child. And I would see things like, okay, I'm not going to fear that, but I want to know what that actually is, you know. And I would see a sparkle of light, and I'm like, right, I'm going to investigate that and see why I'm seeing this sparkle of light, excluding any eye problems or medical things, which I did get checked out for, and I had a clean bill of health. So when I was seeing these sparkling lights, at first I thought, oh, it's possibly a migraine, because I suffer from migraines. But then I would again ask for a clear sign, you know, and it will always come up eventually. And be curious, go out there in the big wide world and explore different aspects that you want to explore. Because if you don't, and you're trapped in the fear state, you're not going to get the full benefit, you know, that you could get from it, you know, as understanding, gaining knowledge, etc. Because there's a big wide world out there that people just don't see. There's people out there that is stuck in this energetic frequency of fear. And if I could do anything with my videos, and that is to push people out that fear to go and explore. Being clear of mind is also important, okay? Understanding your place within your own journey. You know, you are not overpowered by every single thing. You are a powerful being. You know, you're an energy, you are a frequency, you are powerful. You know, once you're in that state of being clear in mind and in spirit, once you push past that fear stage and you step into your curiosity as you would probably have as a child, you will be able to explore the unseen world around you. Feel it, taste it, smell it, etc. Whatever your natural ability is with being stronger. So I hope this video has gave you a bit of encouragement, a bit of knowledge, and I hope this helps. So bye bye, and I'll see you in the next video.